Don't be stupid, darling. You're mine.
I live inside my own world of make-believe.
Hey guys, it's Stevie Gamer Girl here. Welcome back to my channel. So last week I posted a video on ranking the Baldur's Gate 3 companion breakups. So basically if you broke up with the characters, what their reactions would be, I was tier listing those. I did make a mistake actually. Thank you so much to you guys that pointed it out. And I accidentally put the wrong clips for the Ascended Astarion breakup. For some reason, I don't know what it was, but like I even went back to that playthrough and checked. He had been ascended already in that playthrough. Like I had already had him go through with the ritual with Cazador, but for some reason the voice lines were messed up like when I was breaking up with him. I don't know what was up with that. In order to actually understand how the Ascended Astarion breakup goes, I was doing that in a playthrough recently this week, and oh my god, like there is so much complexity and like there's so many layers to Ascended Astarion breakup. I thought I just kind of want to make a video about it on its own. Like the dynamic is crazy. So there's a couple things that I just want to talk through, you know, how I feel about breaking up with Ascended Astarion. So there's a couple of things that I noticed that are different about Ascended Astarion over Spawn Astarion. I have spent like the last 2 years romancing Spawn Astarion, so Ascended Astarion is pretty new to me. One thing is that he is hypersensitive about Cazador after he ascends. Like every time that you mention Cazador to him, he's either like extremely dismissive and says like, I'm nothing like him, or he gets like really, really angry. So let me show a clip where he actually kind of is very dismissive of it.
What's not to want? We could be together for all time. My dark consort, my right hand, my most beloved Spawn. Oh, that was completely different. I'd never hurt you. I love you. That's what you've been waiting to hear, isn't it? That's what you want.
So in that clip, he's very dismissive. And then in a couple other clips, he's very angry when you bring up Cazador. So in this one, I basically say that he's becoming like Cazador, essentially. And he kind of like rages out at you and just says, how dare you compare me to him? Like, you're just as guilty as I am type thing. So I'll play that right here too.
Truly? And what was I supposed to learn from this? Don't you ever compare me to him! Never! How dare you stand there and judge me! As if you know the first thing. Your hands are as bloody as mine, darling. Why would you go along with any of this just to pretend you're innocent now?
He definitely takes it personally if you compare him to Cazador, so I feel like maybe inside him there's a part of him that knows that he's basically repeating the cycle and he is the new Cazador essentially, but he is in such heavy denial of that fact that anybody even implying that makes him really, really angry. There's one more clip where if you become his spawn and then you compare him to Cazador after that, he also gets very, very angry.
Why? Silence! How dare you speak his name? I don't have to take this from you. You ingrate.
I feel like his silence is like a little bit even more extreme in this situation because you're already his spawn. So I feel like in a way he kind of sees you as lesser than him already. And you like comparing him to Cazador now is just like making him even more angry than I guess when he was more like seeing you as an equal essentially. Another thing I noticed about Ascended Astarion is that his definition of love like completely evolved. Like now it's always about power, basically.
And what was I supposed to learn from this? Who's to say I don't? I'm willing to share all of this with you. What's that? If not love?
It's like about being a provider and just giving you power, ruling the world together, domination. Like that's kind of his new definition of love. And if you just even try to say that you just want to be with him, or you kind of just want like a softer version of love, essentially, like he doesn't even really understand that anymore. Like the buzzwords for him are always about power now. And even if you try to kind of get into his head and say that sounds very lonely and you're kind of using me type thing, he says, you're going to be lonelier than me and I'm going to be very happy with what I'm doing type thing.
Just so you know, I have everything I ever wanted. Everything lies ahead. I can see my path to a waking dream. From the Crimson Palace I will govern day and night, create a city of spawn who bow before me, cast a fog over the world for my children. I have turned away my former self, and all my former attachments now too. Very soon I will discover how to cool my legions of wolves, become a sea of mist, run wrong side up on roofs. Everything vampires do best. You could have two. What a waste. I was pathetic then. What do you mean? Why would you say that? You will regret leaving me. More than anything you live to regret. You refused riches beyond belief. The world would have knelt before us united. You'll be lonelier than I.
And he's honestly okay with like letting go of his former attachments and his former self for this version of power, like when he ascends. One more thing I noticed, which is obviously very prominent, is he has a very high ego now. Like a lot of the things that he starts saying to Tav after he ascends is like things that he would never even dream of saying before. Like he's very quick to say, you're not even worthy of me. Like if you even start to challenge his beliefs a little bit and say like, I don't feel like I like the person that you've become, he just immediately jumps to that you're not worthy of him.
That's what you want, isn't it? To be mine. Forever. It seems I misjudged you. I thought we might have a future together, even an eternity. But perhaps you're not worthy. So, what's it to be, darling? Is this it?
There you are. The real you shows herself at last. We are bound until the end, you and I. But there will be an end. Until then, you can enjoy my company. You can benefit from my power. But you will not be in my heart.
So he still is seeing himself as like this really great reward, and you're benefiting from his power. He's always talking about all the things he can offer you. It seems like he looks down on you for not being with him, because if you say, I still care about you, but I can't be with you like this, he'll basically say it's such a pity that you came so far only to falter now. But yeah, it's basically reflecting that he sees himself as a great prize, basically. And if you do go to the extreme of saying that you want him out of your camp, he'll be like, good luck with the nether brain. You need it now that you don't have me.
Good luck with the brain, darling. Without me, you'll need it.
And one interesting little tidbit I found is that if you do agree to become his spawn, and while you're in the middle of the intimacy scene, like he tells you to kneel, like so he can actually bite you, like he wants you to kneel for that when he turns you. But if you say no to kneeling twice, he actually breaks up with you.
You're missing the chance of a lifetime. You will never have another like me. It won't take me until the end of time to find another like you.
I was actually surprised by that. I didn't know that was a possibility. And he also has a lot of dialogues of if you're basically breaking up with him after you become his spawn, like directly after you become his spawn, when you still have the tadpole in your head so he can't control you, he'll say, you're really stupid basically for losing me. And if you're not able to see his worth, then you weren't deserving of it in the first place.
If you're too stupid to see what you're losing, then you never deserved to have it in the first place. I don't have to take this from you. You ingrate.
Like he has very, very harsh reactions to breaking up with him, like after you become his spawn. Okay, and then last but not least, the thing that I want to talk about is trying to break up with him in the epilogue when you are already his spawn. So I just went through this path yesterday where, you know, I ascended him, I became his spawn, and then I got to end game with him ascended and still romancing him. And I tried to break up with him and I could not break up with him. Like, this is probably one of the most harsh and scariest dialogues to me in the game. I'll play the clip right here.
You know, now that our enemies have fallen, I might be the most powerful person in the world. And as you're my consort, that makes us the most powerful people in the world. Don't be stupid, darling. You're mine. Remember? The tadpole is gone, which means your future is mine to decide. How lucky you are that I chose you as my consort. Chose you to help me take Baldur's Gate, then sit by my side as I rule it. There's no backing out now. We'll be together forever. I can promise you that.
So clearly you cannot leave him basically, and he even explicitly mentions like you don't have the tadpole anymore, so I get to control what you do now. So I know I've heard a couple of theories floated around that Astarion actually makes you his vampire bride and not his spawn, but I feel like this dialogue right here kind of disproves that theory, which I think is a fan theory anyways. But he's obviously compelling you, like he's controlling your mind. You're not allowed to break up with him, so you kind of lost all your freedom and your independence, and you're his slave at this point essentially. And what's even more disturbing is like when you go to, you know, the reunion and talk to some people after, if you kind of make a mention of that you're unhappy still and you don't feel like you're flourishing and you just want freedom, he basically says that you don't understand how to enjoy the finer things in life and you're going to enjoy it whether you like it or not. So he's very, very controlling, and I find this ending very, very scary.
We share a palace, share power, live lives eternal in each other's arms. What more could anyone want? God, not this again. I give you wealth, power, pleasure, every decadence that can be afforded to a person, but you'd rather what? Sleep in the dirt again? You are my consort, and I will see you living the very best life, even if you don't appreciate it. Why don't you go and mingle? Have Have fun with your so-called friends.
So yeah, I'm kind of glad I went through and analyzed Ascended Astarion again. I know there's like a couple more dialogues, like there's so much that could be talked about with him, but I kind of covered the main points that I kind of found interesting about him. Let me know what you guys think about his spawn form versus his ascended form and which path you normally go with, and any theories that you have. I would love to hear them. I also got some clips of Dark Justiciar Shadowheart breakup. I might make a video on her sometime and see how it goes, but still thinking about it. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy my content. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.